No matter what your savings goal is, whether it's for an emergency fund such as car or home repairs, medical bills, purchasing a car, making a down payment on a house, a trip, electronics, etc., you should have a well-detailed plan to achieve it. Along with this plan, you should employ certain tactics or tricks that will not only help you save this time, but throughout your life. That's why today we've brought you 10 tips or tricks to help you save effectively over the long term. Let's get started. 1. Prices in hours. If you earn an hourly wage of $5 and want to buy a $1,000 television, in reality, that television won't cost you $1,000, but 200 hours of your life. Is it really worth it? Well, maybe it is, but if it's a t-shirt or a pair of designer sneakers that cost $100, that's 20 hours of your life. If you have a business, you can measure this differently. How many pieces of inventory do you need to sell to pay for that television? How many consultancies or tutorials do you need to give? How many customers do you need to acquire to make that purchase? Ask yourself every time you go to buy something, how many hours of work does it take to buy that? This can help you avoid impulsive purchases and reflect on your financial life. 2. Automatic deductions. When we receive our monthly income, often what we do first is pay the mortgage or rent, utility bills, debts, among other things, and then we save what's left. But what if we become an additional provider for ourselves? Saving isn't just a matter of spending the money you've designated to save from your income. You should transfer it to another account. Many banks and companies offer this service, where they automatically divert the amount you want to save, and you can even set it up as a payment in your online bank. By not relying on this money, you mentally prepare to spend less and at the same time, save more. 3. Track your expenses. Just as having a goal, keeping a record of your expenses on paper will give you insights into the decisions you're making with your money, and you can observe behaviors like excessive spending on restaurant meals or payments for services you're not using. A simple way is to keep all receipts in one place and at the end of the month categorize them. Mortgage, household expenses, utilities, debt payments, insurance, transportation, lifestyle, etc. Total each group and see where your money is going, thinking about what changes you can make for the next month. This will keep your mind alert every time you make a purchase or a payment. 4. The 10-second rule. Wait before buying something. The 10-second rule says that when you're about to spend money, count slowly to 10. Use this time to consider whether or not you should spend the money. Often, I found myself in a bookstore, looking at dozens of books, picking one I like, and when I'm about to decide whether to buy it or not, I think more thoroughly. What about the books I have at home that I haven't read yet, which are on the same topic? You can practice the same with anything you spend money on. When paying any bill, consider if you're really using it enough, or if it would be better to save or invest that money in something else. This rule helps slow down the consumption pattern and save some money. 5. The stranger test. Imagine you're at a mall because you went to lunch with someone. You pass by a discount store and walk in. Suddenly, you see a t-shirt that you love. It costs $50, and you have the money. You go to the cashier to pay. Now, imagine the same scenario. Before paying, a stranger appears and asks for the t-shirt and the money it costs. In one hand, he holds the t-shirt. In the other, your money. Which would you choose? What has more value to you, the $50 or the t-shirt? If you don't buy the t-shirt, you'll have the $50 you didn't spend. As the name suggests, it's a somewhat strange test, but it works. 6. Forget about the salary increase. If you were earning $2,000 a month and could save $200, now with a salary increase to $3,300, you still can only save $200, and you wonder why you can't save more even with a higher income. This often happens because we're programmed to allocate our money quickly, even before receiving it. I have this extra $300 I can go on the trip I've been wanting or buy the computer I saw the other day. And so, you end up in debt, and that extra $300 goes towards financing unnecessary trips or purchases. One of the most common mistakes in personal finance is more income leading to more expenses. To avoid this mistake, one must be decisive and have conviction. When there's a salary increase, automatically allocate part of that amount to a savings account. or use it to supplement your emergency fund, pay debts, or build wealth. Ignoring the increase can allow you to save all that extra money, which is a great idea. This can also be applied when you finish paying off your car or a debt. Forget the money that was allocated to that debt and save it automatically. 7. Have a goal for your savings. If you say something like, "I want to save because they say it's good," you won't be able to save anything. You must be convinced that it's a good thing, and for that, you need to have one or several goals for your savings. It could be saving a certain amount for a down payment on a house, for home renovations, for a trip, but even more importantly, having an emergency fund to avoid getting into debt. Your goal could be having 3 months' worth of income saved in case something happens. Another could be to pay off debts. Another could be to invest in a business. Having a goal helps make every financial decision cautiously because you want to achieve an objective. In addition to a goal, you should have a plan for your finances. 8. Pay with cash whenever possible.
The famous study carried out by the company Dun & Amp Bradstreet found that people spend an average of 15% more when using a credit card. If you spend $15,000 a year using a credit card, you might be spending an extra $2,250 per year.
Not to mention the costs associated with non-payment or credit card-generated interest. Since I started using cash for my supermarket visits, I noticed an average reduction of 20% in those bills. With cash, you have limits and only buy what you really need: groceries, useful items, cleaning products. You leave behind sweets, treats, and impulses. With credit cards, it's true that there is a limit, but it's higher than with cash. For this reason, you feel free to spend at the moment, and everything seems like a smart purchase when swiping the card without any pain. Try using cash when going out to eat, going to the movies, buying groceries, or making certain purchases. This requires a bit of planning. If carrying cash is risky, you can also use or combine it with a debit card. 9. Carry new and high-value notes. It might seem like a silly idea, but studies show that people tend to spend old and dirty notes more quickly because they feel less attached to them. By carrying relatively large notes, such as $20 or $50 in bills, you feel more secure and reluctant to break them. This creates a mental block or a limit to spending that money on small purchases. 10. Increase your income. So far, these tips have been about reducing expenses, which is a great way to save. How about doing that and at the same time, increasing your income? That way you could accelerate your savings capacity, and perhaps that trip doesn't seem so far away, or you might even become debt-free. For example, if you earn $1,000 and spend $800, you can save $200. If you increase it from $1,000 to $1,100 and reduce your expenses from $800 to $700, you could save twice as much as before. Instead of saving $200, you'd save $400. This could mean reaching your financial goals in half the time. Increasing income from a job can be difficult as it depends on salary increases. What you can do is invest in yourself, in your personal and professional development. Acquire skills and knowledge that increase your value and are noticed at work. Courses in public speaking, interpersonal skills, technical skills in your field. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Additionally, you can look for extra job opportunities, a service you can offer in your free time. I hope these tips help you save and have more money in the coming year. Adopt each of these tips and you'll see a financial transformation in your life. Leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions. Subscribe to our channel to not miss new videos that are coming soon, and give us a thumbs up to help this video reach more people. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.